welcome back to another
Hello.
episode of Ladies of Light. I'm Jamaica Builder with Truth Seekers and lovely Brooke Gooner from Tipsy Gypsy.
Yes.
Tonight we'll talk about mythical creatures. What's real, what's not real, so grab your tinfoil hat because it's about to get real.
This is about to get real. This is the best we could do, but guess
Yeah.
what? We just found tinfoil.
Huh? I said we like them though.
We like them. Oh, yeah, no. I like them. They're all, mine's bigger than yours.
I don't know how it happened.
I don't know. Look at that. I take up the whole screen. My big head. But yeah, then we found tinfoil like at the last minute.
Of course.
Yeah,
Way
yeah,
to
right.
go, right?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to
the comments.
pull up the comments, and we're not going to keep this on forever.
Now,
Lucky for you.
I don't know. They might take
They
our
might actually
design. Like put some stuff on it, make it all cool.
Maybe so.
Like something.
We should get a. What if we got like a logo?
That would be
Ladies
sick.
of Light on the.
Tinfoil hats. I see a
Ooh.
business for that. Our own
We're
brand.
always thinking about business, and that's we have an opportunity there for sure.
Get your Ladies of Light tinfoil hats.
And while they're hot, made by yours truly.
That's right. So the aliens cannot read your thoughts.
That's right. But we're really trying to send the message that just prepare yourself because it is a little outlandish in ways. You know, a little bit.
That way.
Yeah.
It may be hard to grasp at first, but you know, it's there.
It's
So,
there.
take it or leave it. It'll
Yep.
be all good. Just thoughts and theories.
How long we been?
I don't know.
This
We'll
for?
take it off.
If you want to, I bet you got static.
Let's see. I'll help you. There you
Dun,
go.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. She's good.
Ah,
You sure?
yeah. I see some flyaways.
No, it wouldn't happen to you.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
You look good.
Okay, all right. Hi, are aliens coming? Katrina says.
They might. We're prepared.
You never
if they
know.
are.
That's right. We're so crafty. We're so
Yeah.
crafty.
Much skills.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hi, Susan. Oh, yeah.
What's everybody saying?
Everybody's saying hello. And Gina just says, and I don't know what I'm looking at.
The hell are they doing?
Yeah, that was our tinfoil hats that we put together because we didn't have tinfoil.
It kind of looks
We
like
got
that.
creative, you know? But it was to say, hey, get your tinfoil hats ready because we're about to, you know, unlock some stuff.
Yeah, we are. We're about to talk about dimensions and thought forms and mythical creatures, such as these wonderful ones. I don't know if everybody's seen them by Grimm and Grove, but they are gorgeous. We were totally in love with them.
Cute.
Brooke says, let's do mythical creatures this year. I was like, did you see
This year.
Grimm and Grove stuff? Oh, this episode.
This episode.
It's in
Oh,
this year. Right?
That's right, yeah, this
I was close.
That's
But
right.
they have Bigfoot, who is one of my favorites. Look at this guy. And his head turns.
Oh,
my
he
god.
does. He's got ears and everything,
And,
you guys.
Of course, the big feet, and you can move him and position him.
Look at his foot.
We love all their stuff.
Oh my gosh, that is
Yeah.
so cute. But
Yeah, I know.
we gotta be careful putting him back down.
Yeah. And then I wanted one of these for myself. Look at it. It's
Look,
a
it's a
unicorn.
unicorn. Pegasus.
Pegasus. Anyway, super cute. Big
my
floofy tail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so come to, now, they're in Portsmouth as well, right?
They
Chillicothe
are.
and Portsmouth.
I don't think that these are in Portsmouth. I think they're just in Chillicothe. But if you want one, just let us know. Let them know. We'll get them down there. Yep, they're
Yeah.
awesome. We love them.
They're so adorable.
So we're going to talk about a couple of these guys
This
tonight.
yeah, I was gonna say this is the chupacabra, right?
Yeah, and he is. Oh, he's kind of hard.
He's friendly. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's like, what up?
This is like their bag of.
They're back. We're playing with the statues or whatever you want to call it, the figures.
They're cute.
But they're adorable, and they also have frogs. They have
Dragons.
Oh, we
That's
should have brought the
ano-
dragon too.
Yeah, because that's another mythical creature.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a lot, and they're all so beautiful. But and then even things outside of the mythical creatures too. They've got a lot of other things too.
Stuff,
So
yeah.
definitely
Each
look
week,
into
something new, something awesome.
them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
yeah.
love all those
Super
things.
cute.
That we definitely want to show those off tonight.
It was right up our alley.
Mhm.
Which,
Good
Bigfoot.
guy,
Yes, please.
Yeah. So who do you want to talk about first? I mean, do we want to? I guess we should talk about what are dimensions and what does that really mean.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we do have, okay, so some would say there's 9. A lot of others say that there's 12 different dimensions, different realms. So some people say dimensions, some say layers to this universe, and some say realms. But it's all pretty much the same, And each mythical creature that we're going to talk about does come from one of those dimensions for the most part. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Bigfoot first?
Yeah, we can talk about Bigfoot. So,
actually, we need to talk about the Tulpa versus... Probably that first.
Yeah, we'll start out there.
Okay.
Another thing about dimensions, it can scare a lot of people. A lot of people call it densities too, and we can tie this into the ascension process we talked about a couple weeks ago, where we talked about as you go higher up, and the earth is actually increasing in vibration as well, and that increases the density or the dimension. So right now we would be in a 3rd dimension, and where people talk about, I'm in the 5th dimension where they live in love. Right. I don't know how many people are actually there, but most, if you're watching this, you're probably about the 4th. They call that the Rainbow Bridge,
right?
Where you're in between. And so you would start getting these psychic abilities, you would start getting the different things as you tap into these higher dimensions, these higher states. So it's a natural process occurring within the universe, within the earth. And the angels exist in higher dimensions.
They do. Yeah, they're of a different phylum. They're a little bit different than like spirit guides and whatnot, but they do exist in other dimensions, the higher frequency dimensions.
Sure. And angels have wings, right? They beep you out. So when we talk about mythical creatures, it's not that far-fetched. If you can believe in angels,
right,
you can kind of see the correlation between this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, John in the book of Revelations, he went into a different dimension. He got in the chariot. The chariot that went in the sky, and he went up, and he was shown all these things. Right, well, he was tapping into a higher state of consciousness, and so he was tapping into a different dimension, and that's where most of these things reside. So, you want to talk about tulpas? That comes from Buddhist philosophy.
Yes, so that is Tibetan. So that is from Buddha, but tulpa. I don't know if anyone has heard of a tulpa, but how one is created is one person puts purpose into their thoughts. Let's say that I want to, create something like Loch Ness Monster, okay? What I would do is I would have repeated thoughts. I would really, really focus on creating this, and it actually ends up happening. So for a tulpa, go ahead, get a little closer. And so a tulpa is something that somebody creates, but then there's the other kind.
The egregores. So egregores would be like if you have a bunch of people meditating on healing, right? What would manifest? So they would put all that thought form, all that energy into the ethers, the astral. It would take on a form, and then it would manifest as maybe a cure for something, right? Or some kind of doctor shows up. So these egregores can actually go out into the energetic realm and influence other people. So if I'm trying to manifest a cheap car, when I go into the dealership, this guy, the salesman, might suddenly get a thought to lower the price by a couple $100, right? And then that works out for me. So these egregores kind of work in your favor. And they can be both positive and negative.
Right.
However you choose to use it. So it's really important that we be aware all the time of what we're thinking and what we're feeling, because we are creating these egregores whether we know it or not.
Whether we know it or not, right? Which is really energy. So that's what we're creating. We're creating energy with our thoughts, our words, everything. It's all energy, really.
Absolutely.
Yes. But a tulpa also is usually like an actual being too. Like you can actually create an actual being. And so we're going to go through some examples and whatnot.
There's some good ones,
and there's some really creepy ones.
Telling me some stories.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, I didn't know.
I know. We were both sharing information, and we're like, oh, what?
No way. Yeah, we learned a lot together.
We do. Yeah. Okay, so did you want to talk about this one first?
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about Bigfoot. So Bigfoot is believed to be, he is believed to be from an ET species. They've come here to study the earth, so you find them in these natural forests because that's where our rocks, our minerals, our, springs of flowers grow, and they are gathering these and taking these back, to wherever they're from, and they teleport. That's not teleport. When you
they phase.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, they phase in and out. It's almost like you bleed through the layers.
Right. So they actually have the ability to pick up on parallel universes. So that's what happens when you're phasing in and out, right? You're changing which density you're in. So you're going from a fourth to fifth or third to fourth. And so people say, I thought I saw him around the corner, and then he bleeped out.
Right.
And then he wasn't there.
Or it's like then they fade, right?
Yeah, they're just gone. And so
it's because they're here temporarily and then they phase back.
Yeah.
So they phase in between, but they're really just here for gathering information.
Yes. And so they do no harm to people, but they do work with the Agartha network. So when you hear they hear about them making these big stomps or smacking tree branches. Right. That's what they're doing. They're communicating with the underground network of Earth called the Agartha network.
Yep, that's how they communicate. And another one that's somewhat like that, like the Bigfoot, is Chupacabra. So Chupacabra means goat sucker, okay? And right, because that's actually how they usually feed, is off of animals. So similar, but different. Yeah. So the Chupacabras are here because they are here to gather information, just like Bigfoot, or what's more than one Bigfoot? Is it big feet?
I guess it is.
Bigfoots. But anyway,
what is the plural form of Bigfoot?
Big feet.
Big feet. Has to be.
Sorry. But the Chupacabra, it is a real thing. They actually, here's the Chupacabra right here. Now, the ones that, let's just say I was shown one, Spirit had kind of shown me one. Oh, he does stay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. But see how he has, they are absolutely correct, actually. Not the green, but however, look at the teeth, and then the ears, and then they do have these spikes on their spine, and whatnot. And so here's the thing.
Look at that. Dude, I'd lose my mind. I couldn't handle it. My God.
No, you would die if you saw a Chupacabra. But they are actually, let me do that quick. Yeah. But they're super resilient. There isn't that many, okay? So that's why we don't see them all the time. They are put down into different terrains, and so that way they can gather information, and they actually transmit the information. So they are truly here to just get information about Earth and how we are doing. And I will say probably the Greys are the ones who send them down.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So the Greys, I know, again, that sounds a little outlandish, but that's what the Chupacabra, it is their purpose, but they do have to eat and whatnot while they're here. So that is why you see a lot of goats that have it looks like a vampire, holes in their neck and whatnot. Yeah, it's because they have to while they're here. It's how they're made up anyway.
I mean, can't blame them for eating, but at the same time, it's you have to be looking so scary when you do it.
Yeah, but they do make them so that way if you were to see one quickly, then, because they're pretty fast, if you were to see one quickly, then it would look almost like a dog, and you would have to do a double take. Wait a minute, is that a loose dog? What is that?
Do they phase? Do they phase in and out?
Not typically.
Okay.
So they will phase at the very end of their experiment, or whatever it is that they're gathering. So they phase back, but they don't keep phasing in and out like Bigfoot. Bigfoot will actually phase in and out, and that is why you don't see where they're living here, or multiplying even. There's just so many that they've sent. That makes sense. So they don't reproduce and all that animalistic stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. Okay.
Who else do we have?
Who else? You want to talk about the mermaid? Or I can talk about Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Okay. So another one, I kind of mentioned this earlier, was Loch Ness Monster. And the Loch Ness Monster is the same thing. It's a tulpa. It comes and goes. So that is why it is seen. And then it'll disappear. Obviously, it's in water. But even whenever researchers will go down and actually search for it, they'll be like, nope, we surveyed the entire lake, because the lake is actually called Ness Lake Ness. And so they will go through, even with today's technology, and they cannot find this. However, they still get, pictures from time to time, and they keep getting glimpses. It's because it phases in and out as well. So that's what the Loch Ness Monster is.
Here's my thing with mythical creatures. So for centuries, right, and for every culture around the world, right? So if I go and I tell you, Brooke, I saw some crazy thing that looked like this chupacabra, you'd be like, that's crazy.
Right.
You probably didn't. Blah, 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 right?
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. Right? Like, let's sit down and talk about this. But if you have that many people for that many years, and they're all saying this, and they're from all different parts of the world, like, right? You can't just get that many people making some stuff up.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And especially with Bigfoot, you have like firefighters, police officers, all these people that ain't got no reason to be talking about Bigfoot. They don't even want to talk about it because people think they're crazy.
People think they're crazy.
But they know what they saw.
And that's a lot of this stuff. People are like, oh my gosh, I feel crazy if I say that I seen this, or People
because it's dismissed, but like, where's your faith in the people? Like,
right. Like, they saw it with their own eyes.
And Bigfoot is really notorious in Native American culture. Like, they honor it. In Alaska, they're like, they have like celebrations to honor it, not in a like Bigfoot fest or whatever.
Right. But they honor all creatures and all of that. Yeah. So
they have no doubt about it.
Yeah. So my grandfather, let me see if I can get anything from him, because he's actually full-blooded, he had passed, but he's one of my spirit guides now. But he is full-blooded Blackfoot, Native American, and so I'm going to see if he has anything to say. I didn't haven't even asked. Let me see. We'll talk about them good old days.
What did they say?
It's like that. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there, and then we'll see if he has anything to say about that here in a bit.
Information. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Oh, you want me to talk about the mermaids?
Sure.
Yeah, so mermaids are a form of what they call undines. And undines are water elementals or water spirits or any creature, not human, in the water. Undines. And so mermaids are a form of that. And then you also have the sirens. And who else do you have?
Sirens, you have water nymphs.
Yes. Those dudes.
Those are like the main ones that sirens, you already said sirens, and then water nymphs are like the biggest ones that I've seen.
So mermaids are thought to come from, I think it's Venus is where they originated. No, that's not right. They were in Sirius. And then they kind of got ran out of there and some planetary stuff and landed on Venus, and then some of them came here. And they are part of a much, much bigger underwater network. It's its own planet down there in the ocean. There's so much undiscovered. There's so much that people won't even attempt to go in because of these sightings. And I was actually watching something today where they were talking about covert military Navy people and how they have a non-disclosure. Like, if you see it, you can't say it because they know it's there, but they can't tell everybody.
But they can't tell. Right?
Yeah, because it's crazy,
right? Yeah. Or you might induce panic in some ways, or
people are better off not knowing.
Yeah, because us humans are
fragile.
We're sensitive. We're very, we try to use logic, and so if it doesn't make sense, it must not be true, kind of thing. So I can see why these other beings and whatnot are a little skittish around humans, because we tend to act in fear and we tend to act in anger and that kind of thing. So ignorance, really.
I don't like going around half of them either. I can't. I would live in one too.
We don't want it. You guys come see us and we'll take care of you. Take us back. Take us with you, please.
But that's where mermaids are, and water is associated with the reason why mermaids are always feminine is because water is a feminine element. It is associated with consciousness, with emotion, with beauty, and that's why they always appear gorgeous, right? Now, the ones that live in deep sea aren't always gorgeous. They don't look like that.
Wow.
You would be like the sirens, and sirens can live in waterfalls, in ponds, in freshwater, and those.
Which is interesting, real quick. I didn't even realize that it's in any body of water, but it really is. You just naturally think ocean or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the sirens are the ones that will lure men in and then consume them, right? They'll sing this beautiful song. And the reason they do that is because they don't actually have souls. And so if they obtain a male, then they get an immortal soul. So their lifespan is actually shortened, but their soul is immortal.
Right. And that is why they sing and they try to, be alluring, right? They try to pull them in.
Oh, beautiful, come hang out with me. Yeah, okay. Then it's
I scare them
over.
all. Good thing I'm not a siren. I actually sound like a siren.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
How do I do that now?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And who else we got?
So I already talked about chupacabras. Now, so, then we've also, we've got fairies and leprechauns. So those are kind of like what you would say is like fairy tale kind of creatures or entities or whatnot. And I have to say that, yes, they are in another dimension, but they do bleed through as well. So it is very possible to see a fairy. We even have fairy energy. So some even have guides, like spirit guides, that are fae. I am one of those, actually. I don't usually talk about that because, again, people would think I'm crazy. Yeah. But I have two, and I actually have 2 tattoos of each one. But yeah, I have 2 fairies, Constance and Lily, actually. Yeah. But, so, they can still, they can guide. They are an energy, and they are amazing. But they are very creative and inspirational and all of that. But then, you have some of those that are mischievous, and and they could be, there's a few that, there's the pukas who can be very, not nice. And so you have that pretty much anywhere you go.
I know, I was going to say, just because something exists in a higher dimension does not mean by any means that they're all light and working for your good and all that stuff. You have to be very careful if you are trying any form of communication with people in other dimensions. And let it be noted that whatever you vibrate out, that's the person you're going to attract, right? So if you're in anger and disgust and all that, and you're trying to communicate, you're going to get something that matches that energy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I do have to say this. So there's a story, and I'm still trying to research and go back to it because this is something that I had looked into years ago. I'm talking probably like 15 years ago or so. I had researched this. And so what had happened was there was a woman who, she started practicing Buddhism, and she was trying to learn more about the culture and whatnot. And what's interesting is she was actually a researcher herself, but what she wanted to do was that she kept hearing, the word tulpa, and people talking about how you can create energies or you can create, beings by simple thought, because that's how powerful our minds are. So she did this experiment, and it took her a really long time. From my understanding, it took her at least a year or so to be able to create this. But guess what? She was like, I'm going to do something completely crazy. I am going to manifest or create a leprechaun. And so she actually did.
This earth possesses woman to do that.
Of all the things. Of all the things in the world. Yeah. Not a unicorn, not a Pegasus, nothing like that. She wanted a leprechaun, which, hey, I like leprechauns.
Yeah, sure.
Those are fun. But let's just say that she was going through a really hard time. And so the energy and everything that she would journal this and whatnot, but everything she was putting into it, she ended up getting this leprechaun and was completely could not believe that this actually ended up happening. Well, the leprechaun was not nice. Was super, how they kind of get stereotyped as super greedy because they're gold and whatnot, but he was pretty greedy. He'd steal things and stuff. Oh, no. So then it was like, how do you get rid of a tulpa? So then she was trying to get, information. How do you get rid of the tulpa?
Because nobody mentioned that part.
She brought in a monster in a way. So yeah. So not to say that all leprechauns, this sounds so interesting. Oh my gosh. But not that all leprechauns are bad. It's just that she had created one that was not the best.
Right.
But they are on a dimension, and so they do come and go, but especially the fairies. People will actually say, I made a fairy garden, I actually seen a fairy. And so it is very possible. Yeah, it's not, you don't see it all the time, but...
You've seen a lot of footage of, videos, maybe not of a sometimes of a fairy, but like just the wind blowing around the fairy garden, or mushrooms will start to pop up around the garden, you know, and they're signs. Right?
Yes, there's signs.
Yeah, so just because you can't physically see it. But, you know, like Brooke and I were talking about, as the earth ascends, as the vibration raises, then maybe our grandchildren, these will no longer be mythical creatures. And we talked about the panda. So the panda was once a mythical creature because people would just see little spots of it and they couldn't actually find it until they were like, somebody got convinced and decided to go hunting for it, and then they found the pandas.
They end up finding the pandas.
And they're like, oh my God, it's real, right? And so forever they didn't believe in them.
That's funny, isn't it? I couldn't imagine. I mean, pandas are very different looking. I mean, if you think of a bear or whatever, you don't really think of like a black and white one, right? Or like a real cute, But it is funny that like they thought that was a mythical creature.
Yeah, and you gotta think about bears. Bears are like usually aggressive, and they're hunters, and they're meat eaters, right? And this cute little bear eats all bamboo, right?
He eats bamboo.
And it's peaceful. So that's like, to me, that sounds like a kid. Like, draw a bear. Well, I'd want him to be kind, and I'd want him to be loving, right? So it kind of sounds like it comes from the imagination because it's not typical of bears we see here. So it could be a tulpa.
It could be.
Could have been.
It really could have been. We're going to tap in and see.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Check into that.
Yeah.
Panda history.
You never know what's going to come up here.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
We go places.
We go places, obviously. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we talked about Bigfoot, we talked about mermaids, talked about Loch Ness Monster, fairies, leprechauns, and chupacabras. Do you guys have any questions about any of that, or
or any other creatures?
Or any other creatures?
Yeah, we'll talk about those too.
Jackie. Hi, Jackie. And
fix
Bonnie.
Pegasus wing
Chelsea.
here. There
you go.
Yeah. Now she's styling. I have a little
Styling,
mini one.
profiling.
I got a mini one. It's a little tiny one.
Look at the little
Oh no, on the butt. Is that supposed to be like that? I noticed that, but I won't say no. Like, cause I don't
Of
know.
course, I had to point it out.
There's
Never
eyes
mind.
on that butt.
There's some kind of formation there, is all I'm going to say. Oh my goodness. Aliens coming. Let's see. I don't look at anymore. Charlene says, what the heck? Are you trying to hide your brains from aliens?
Exactly.
Oh, that was from earlier. Oh, hi, Gail. Gail Schaller. I can actually see your comments this time. So I want to give Gail some love because she's tried to comment before and we couldn't see them.
Yeah, so this is how that works. If you have never participated in True Secret, so you might be a member, but if you've never commented before, your comment has to get approved. And so if we're on live, we can't go in and approve it. So that sometimes happens on these lives. People want to participate for the first time. And
so we're not ignoring for others. If you're tuning in and you've not commented yet and you're trying to get through, then we're not ignoring. Yeah, we'll probably see them after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my foot's going to sleep.
EVG says my boyfriend's nickname is Squash. Squatch. Squash. Sasquatch. Oh, dragons. Yes. I believe it.
Yeah, we talked about dragons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dragons were definitely real.
Oh, yeah. And dragons are like, with everything else, good ones and there's bad ones. The thing about dragons and working with dragons is that they speak in riddle, right? So, yeah, they speak in like when they talk to you or whatever. It's kind of like this philosophical riddle. And so they're tricky.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're kind of tricky. So you gotta be like smart to get it. But they are some of the most ancient creatures ever. Yeah, dragons have been around forever. I mean, they are one of the oldest ones to be floating among the earth plane. But you see that so much in Eastern, the Chinese dragons and all that. I mean, they worship them over there just about because it's such a part of their culture.
It is part of their culture.
Yeah, dragons are amazing.
Absolutely. But they were definitely present for sure. And I'm sure there's still some on like another dimension too, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They phase in and out.
I saw some beautiful footage one time of dragon energy going through the clouds. Gorgeous. Somebody caught it on there. It was in Tibet, of course.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay. Because there's so many caves, Okay, let's see. Bigfoot is considered a prime example. So EBG is just talking about some Bigfoot stuff. She's talking about the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, and then she thinks Men in Black described humans the best.
Yeah. So in Men in Black, he has that famous line where he says, you know, a person is calm or whatever, but people are scared, angry, da 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 da. So you may be able to handle it as an individual, but as a mass, they couldn't handle that, knowing that other things exist.
And then here's the thing too: one can just spark another, and spark. It's like, it just turns into this big. You know, it's almost like the energy, thing that we talked about before. Like it can turn into such a big blob of energy.
Yeah, so
really
they create
chaotic
egregores, right? And sometimes that's exactly what it is. So like when you have mass hysteria, that's an egregore. Mm-hmm. When you go to church and everybody's up and in praise, that's an egregore, right?
That's a whole energy put together, and it has a purpose. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of like praying, like when you do a big church prayer, like you just said in church. Do a big church prayer. It really is going. You're setting an intention. Mm-hmm. It is really going.
You're projecting that feeling of healing and giving it to a higher power.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what it does. It goes out and you get these miracles.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
But we do that in Buddhists where they have mass meditation. It's so cool, the studies that they do. So they'll get like 300 people together and just they'll all project the feeling of love, and the crime rates in that city will drop dramatically 25-30% for that day. That's so amazing.
I see that. Yeah,
that's so amazing. That's like scientific fact. They've studied that. So all religions
like magic.
do it.
Yeah, it's like real magic.
Yeah, it is.
Magic. It is magic.
That's what magic is. Absolutely.
Let's see. There's Lisa.
Speaking of prayer, Lisa, I saw where the storm got your chicken coop, and I'm so sorry about that. Her chickens are okay.
Oh, okay.
And then I think I saw where somebody come and helped you. But anyway, I was thinking about you. I just wanted you to know that disturbed me. I'm so sorry that happened.
That's no good. Yeah. I'm glad they're okay, though.
Yeah.
I have to make another coop. Picture coop. Hi, Mom. You're able to comment. Yay.
I love Berg's mom.
That's my mom and my dad.
And she is so sweet. And I love her. I do.
She's an earth angel. She really is. And my dad's great too. But my mom.
She's got that beautiful energy. The first time I saw your parents, I didn't realize that's who they were. And then I kind of started to figure it out. Like, maybe, But then I was like, oh, yay, because I really like those.
I'm glad that worked out. They love you. That's so true. Yeah, they love you. They're always like, we love Jamaica. Aww. So, yeah.
The wind got our sign out here in front of Chillicothe True Seekers. Knocked it down.
It did. And I mean, this is heavy signage.
Yeah, held by metal cables to the, cemented into the building and came down. So
that one and the Paints Reserve, which is right next door to us, that sign came down as well. So it was dangling for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we brought it in. So anyway,
we're still here.
We're still.
The sign's just missing.
We're still here. Yeah, the sign's missing. So you guys are gonna have to we'll get creative and figure something out, or get fixed or something. Yeah. Okay, what questions do you guys have?
You don't have any comments anymore?
I don't know, it goes away. Oh, Mary says I have Kodama living in my gardens.
I don't know what that is, Mary B.
Is that you said Kodama?
What's a Kodama? I never heard of that one.
Kodama.
Is that like a fairy?
Is that like a, it's not a chupacabra, but like...
Who's got a Pegasus? That's what I want to know. How did you get it? I want to know.
A Pegasus, a griffin.
Oh, griffins. Those are good ones.
Those would be such a good one.
Did you know that in Las Vegas, at like MGM, down in the vault, they have these 2 gigantic griffin statues? Because griffins guard money. So if you have like a money bowl at your house or a prosperity altar or anything like that, get you a griffin statue. Pop it right in front.
Pop it right in front.
If Vegas do it, I do it too.
There you go. Yepper.
So griffins are cool.
10
points for Gryffindor.
Okay, forest spirit. It's a
Oh,
forest spirit.
okay.
Very little guys.
So is that kind of like a gnome? I mean, but
I think it
foresty?
might be. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Gail says, a few days prior to my brother's passing, after an unsuccessful procedure, he told his son, the unicorns are real. He talked about the noise they made and how they were the softest things he ever felt. Explained how it was go dark. Oh, how it would go dark and then
They were there with him.
them.
That's amazing. So you find this a lot with people that are phasing in and out themselves, right?
Themselves, right.
So they will often see creatures, they'll see spirits, they'll see all these things, and then they'll tell you, this is real. And so a lot of people also will see these things growing up or when they're younger, and then as they get older, it becomes crazy. So they never speak of it until they're phasing, and they're like, listen, when I was little, I saw the gnomes or whatever. I've got to tell you because I want you to know.
Right. Or they'll freely talk to them or about them.
Yeah, because they're not realizing that
they don't have that guard up anymore, so then they just go ahead and they start talking about it. But that's thank you so much for sharing that, Gail, because that's such a beautiful thing. I want to see a unicorn.
I know.
Okay.
It's super sweet.
That would be awesome. Oh, hi, Dina. Hi, Dina. Again, she was just here with her friend for a reading, and thank you for joining. It's good to see you again.
Uh-oh.
I sure did. I went to a different live, y'all. All right. Would that be kind of like a gnome? Oh, that's what she was saying to Mary.
Or
Mary. Would that be like a brownie or a gnome or something?
So are sprites fairies?
They are a type, from my understanding, they are a type of fairy. It's almost like a puka. A sprite is also like something like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what some of the other names are too.
I'm not very educated in fairy realm.
The different types is, there's actually like a lot of them. But, so for example, I'm going to go back to my fairies real quick. Constance is always over here for me, and Lily is over here. Lily and Constance are actually the same. They say that it's whatever they would just truly call themselves fae. So I don't know what that means exactly, but I just get like a very generic kind of term. So they're not pukas or anything like that. But Lily is more of a she's very like outgoing and childlike and has like playful energy, exactly. And then you have Constance. Constance actually wears armor. And she sits in like Indian style, and she helps. She's very serious, but she helps me with writing and inspiration and that kind of thing. So she helps with communication. But then you have Lily, who's trying to help me live a little, try to lighten up things. And so she'll try to like make me smile and that kind of thing.
Constance is ready for battle.
But Constance is ready for battle. Well, you don't want us. And she's teeny tiny, but she's tiny but mighty.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes.
Right?
It's the little dogs you gotta watch for. Yeah.
They have a tough bite. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me look at your comments here.
So what about like the fear of fairies where like they snatch your baby? Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, they make changelings. Changelings, yeah. So that's like one of the not so great. Now that comes from the puka. So that's the one that I was saying that isn't the best. They actually kind of remind me of trolls, but it's like the troll fairy. But they actually will still. That's more talked about in Ireland and that kind of thing. But they really like in Ireland. They live by that. It's like, watch out for the pukas. They'll steal your kids. They'll steal your babies. But the other thing too is that the fairies are really, really thick there, and I'm not exactly sure why. But they do make those fairy rings and the mushrooms around there, and they will make. So if you have somebody who's doing construction and they're trying to build a house or something, you're going to see that there's things malfunctioning, and they do everything in their power to preserve Earth. That's one of their purposes, is to preserve Earth. So they try to help us by trying to stop us.
Right. Like, listen, you're ruining yourself.
That's
Please
right.
quit.
Yeah. And you know, it's almost like Ferngully, right?
Ferngully. Love that
Ferngully.
movie.
I haven't watched that in forever.
When that come out, like 92? I want to say, I don't know.
Showing my
I'm
age.
just making stuff up. I think it was 92.
Back in
I'm not
92,
sure at all.
maybe 82, I don't know.
Sounded good.
Sounded good. But yeah, Ferngully. So yeah, you have the fairies and everything, and then they're trying to save the trees.
Yeah.
That's so true. I just realized that.
Yeah. Well, and then you know what I thought was interesting too? The Little Mermaid. You know how she finds a man on land, right?
Yes.
But she must be good because she didn't. She's not like a siren, so
She's not a siren, though.
She didn't like bring him in there and
Right.
take his soul. But she did choose to come up here and have life, right?
She did. Yeah.
And then there was Ursula down there. He's just like
all her legs.
Yeah, just
her arms.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In her dress.
So you gotta watch what they're presenting to you in the media and through movies because they're always telling you a little truth.
Yes.
Always.
Mhm.
And they do it because they think you're never gonna believe it. Right?
Mhm.
That shit's crazy.
Like,
Whatever.
It's so true.
They know that
true. They know that we're too programmed to be logical and to look at things like that, but they put things right in front of us. And last week we talked about, you know, Hollywood and that kind of thing and how they program and how they have casts and, you know, just things like that. Like it's definitely a thing in channeling and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So be mindful.
Be mindful.
And like everything else, you don't want to have like, and when people see things that they're not supposed to see, or you go and tell your neighbor you saw something that you're not supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it creates a lot of fear in people. And so they'll make up stories around these things. So, you know, take it with a grain. You know, you don't want to be controlled by the fear, but you also got to watch how you want to educate yourself and watch how you communicate and things like that.
You do. You got to watch yourself. Lisa's always felt drawn to Fae energy.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Me too. Oh, Dina, you told me my spirit, Bella May, was fairy-like. Oh, I did. Yes, I have actually I've done a few readings now where I do see like fairy energy, or I'll see, and then I also get like spirit animals and whatnot for people. But I'll also get fairy energy. And depending on the person who's sitting in front of me, like sometimes I feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, you have a fairy," you know. And then other times, I just kind of wait until I get to build trust and that kind of thing with the person, and then I kind of like, because you know, it's just they're gonna be like, "This chick is a quack."
You gotta read the room, right?
You gotta read the room.
To say this
Like I'll get to you, chick. Like you know, to the fairy, I tell them like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna wait a second. I don't want to look like I'm cray cray."
Spirit animal is a chupacabra. I'm leaving. I can't handle it. Don't tell me. Don't say nothing.
Yeah, no. If anything, yours would be the Pegasus.
Oh,
yes.
that would be an honor.
Have I done your spirit animals?
No.
Ooh, I might have to do that.
Yeah,
tap in.
maybe next week we could do spirit animals.
We could do spirit animals. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, we'll put it up. We could talk about animals in general because you want to do the purpose of pets at some point too.
Purpose of pets.
We'll be on
Yes.
Kicks the next 2 weeks.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we'll do that. So next, we were trying to come up with a topic anyway. So there we go.
Well, and then so Friday's the 1st. It will also start Women's Month.
Women's Month.
Yeah, so we'll hit a couple topics there.
Yeah.
too.
Women's Wellness Month and whatnot.
I'll give you
so we'll
some
talk
herbs
about
and some
that.
recommendations for women and different phases of life. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, all right. Ferngully was her favorite movie.
Spoke to us at a young age.
Oh, Mary says, speaking of Irish, my mother's family is Irish, and when there was a death, we would hear the banshee wail. The banshee, that's another one. Yes. Thank you for saying that name, because I'm like, there's another. The banshees do scream. they have like very distinctive yells and whatnot. So you guys would actually hear it wail, huh? Interesting. Oh no, I'm not bad.
Oh, hey. Well, we don't
Oh, that's true. You know, they were right about the important thing this week. Natasha says, wanted
Oh.
to let you know you were right about the
Very good.
important thing this week. It didn't come out perfect how I wanted it. It actually came out better for everyone involved, which is great. Thank you so much for the love and positivity. Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Thank you for the follow up and the feedback and everything. I always like to hear, if it ended up helping and that kind of thing. So that's awesome. I'm glad that
People always come say, Brooke, you was right. And she's like, I know.
Shucks.
We damn. It's hard being me.
I'm blushing. I don't know why.
Brooke's great, and she is, and she gets wonderful feedback all the time. Yeah, totally amazing.
Well, and thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. All right. My great-grandmother. Oh, very cool, EBG. Very cool. Sorry, Chelsea says, that's why you only told me one name of my 4 guys, huh? Laugh out loud. I am all in, girl. Yeah, I was like, we gotta wait. Chelsea, next time. Yeah, it was funny. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. So I do want to let you guys know, so I'm going to be part of a party, okay, that's going to be taking place at Making Waves. It's a hair salon here in Chillicothe. It is my friends Carrie and Lacey
does
Powell.
excellent work, apparently.
Well,
I see
thanks.
her post all the time, and I'm like,
Well, she does. So yeah, Lacey Powell.
Hair.
She does my hair. She gets my hair did. You
Yeah.
know? And then Carrie James is the one who owns it, and she's fantastic. So we're going to be having some fun on March 12th from 5:30 to 7:30. You guys can come and you could get massages from Maggie, who has a business here in town. Mm-hmm. And so she's doing chair massages. I believe she's doing 5 to 15 minutes. And then we have someone who's going to be doing fine line tattooing. There's going to be fine line tattooing. Sorry, I'm not sure who that was. I should have read that. And then we also have somebody who's going to be doing permanent jewelry.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be fun. And of course, I'll be doing tarot readings and whatnot.
Like body piercing?
No.
Is that permanent jewelry? What's permanent jewelry?
No, permanent jewelry is whenever you go in and you get, by the way, we got to talk about rings.
Oh, yeah.
But is when you go in and you actually get sized. They put the ring around you, so that way it fits perfectly. And then it actually is like a permanent ring.
So you die with it?
You die.
Oh my god! I don't have that kind of commitment in me. I don't like
You
nothing
can
that
have
much. That took Jared, but that's
a stretch. That's my limit. No, but it's no. You can actually have it removed if you want, but it's just one that way you're not having to. You know how you can't get it over. Yeah, it might not fit your knuckle or whatever.
My hand swells.
They'll give you enough, a little bit.
A little bit of room.
Yeah, a little bit of room, and I'm sure they have different designs and whatnot.
Here's
a panty.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna go get one done? Well, don't listen to Jamaica.
Somebody might like it. It just ain't for me.
I think my mama's gonna get one.
But the massage, the reading, all that other stuff, that sounds great.
Yeah. Come meet some awesome ladies and have some fun with us.
Hey, real quick too, some crystals that may help you if you want to increase communication with other realms. Celestite is great. It's one of my favorites, and I have it on almost all the time.
Yes.
Because it is very high vibrational, and it is used primarily for interdimensional communication. Another one, aquamarine, and what was the green?
Green aventurine.
Was it? Yes.
Yeah.
Green aventurine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great crystals.
Those would be really helpful with that, with the communication. And last time, or the last few times, we've been asked what jewelry we have on and whatnot. So just wanted to kind of go through what we're wearing.
What you
real
got?
quick. So actually, this is a Virgo pendant that my husband had gotten me a few Christmases ago.
Oh.
So this is Virgo. I don't know where he got it. And then I've got my hyper sign, y'all, which I talk about this in almost every podcast. Yeah, every podcast. This is hyper sign. It brings the good luck. It's banned in Egypt and whatnot. You get like, I was about to say get frisked.
We're going.
Sign me up.
Free frisk in Egypt. Sounds exciting.
You get patted down.
Uh-huh.
Hey, could be a good time. And then I have a black onyx over here. And these are actually two different ones that I just kind of put together. And then this one here is a garnet. Woo! Truth Seekers, Truth Seekers. And then this one is a moonstone. And I actually put this top one with it too. And that is from Truth Seekers as well. And that's my, wedding rings.
Diamond.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. And then pearl earrings. All right, what you got on?
I don't have a much, but we have these gorgeous topaz rings, and I mean, they are, I really love this
those
one.
are
It
really
is
pretty.
sparkly and shiny, and I love our topaz rings. This one, kyanite, awesome communication sound, and then charoite and sapphire. So that's all I got.
Yeah, very cool.
Jared.
Jared. That's a whole other meaning. Yeah. Got it from Jared.
Yeah, I walked downstairs, I said, thank you. He said, okay.
You just get a peck, right?
Yeah.
Like, thanks. It's important. It's what happens when you're married to Jared,
Yeah.
And then he might be coming on soon, like one of these podcasts.
We would be excited to have him really talk about sacred geometry and that in crystals and that with spirits and how to use crystals for spirit communication. Lots of things he has to offer on that. Yeah.
He's a wealth of information.
I want Katrina on here. I want Katrina to come on, and I want her to do frequency, and I want her to talk about the body being an organ, and how if your organs are out of tune, then you don't play the correct note out to the universe, and that's why you don't get it back. A great reflection because you're out of tune. So I want her to talk about that.
Yeah. So we'll have Katrina on eventually doing some sound bowls.
I just gotta figure a way to get her here and me here.
Right.
Then I got the store.
Who's gonna have the Portsmouth store and whatnot? Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. But we'll get to it.
We'll figure it out. And then so then those are probably the next few guests possibly. And then might have some more.
We come up with stuff.
Probably have Summer on again at some point too. This summer with Arc of Astrology. Oh, Katrina says we should get matching tats, jams.
Oh, yeah. Hey, girl, if we get a calm badge from Star Trek, me and you, that's our tattoo. Calm badges.
No, you gotta get Quark. Is that his name?
Yes,
Quark.
I love Quark. Yeah.
I know it's your favorite, right?
It is.
Yeah.
He's from Deep Space Nine.
Yes. Yeah, you have to get a picture of his face.
A Ferengi on me, man. Those things are ugly. Talk about mythical creatures.
You really?
Ferengis.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get not Ew. I mean, I love Ewoks, but I'm gonna get Teak off Ewoks. You guys know who I'm talking about? Teak, the little fast one. He's white and he's all furry and he's got like a little. Oh my god, he's so cute.
Where would you put him?
I don't know. Probably display him right here because
For
he's
all
adorable.
to see.
That's right. I had him as my screensaver before.
Oh my
What the
gosh.
hell is that?
It is Teak.
That is Teak. He's the cutest thing ever. Anyway, I want to get a tattoo of him.
Okay.
Okay.
Now she's got me thinking of Star Trek tattoos.
Might have to get one. Yes, I love. Yeah, Jackie, I remember you always asking, like, what is it that you guys are wearing exactly? Yeah. Oh, and EBG says hagstones are said to be portals. Portals. Used to, by the faith folk and protect against evil casted upon you. Gotcha. And then Dina wants to know where we can find our podcasts. Those are still downloading, aren't they?
Yeah, so we still are going through and editing them, and then I'm hoping by next week, but you'll be able to find them on Spotify and I think it's Apple iTunes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
We'll
I'll
keep you
post it.
posted,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll display that information for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to be refined.
Yeah,
It took us a minute to figure it out.
Well, and also to pick which one we were originally going to go with one service, and then we ended up switching it. So now we got to get caught up, pretty much.
But that way you can always go back and rewatch them and do all that, because the lives only stay on the page for like a month, and then they get deleted.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh,
Yeah.
then we definitely need to put this there. All right.
Get on that, Jamaica.
Yeah.
How are
Up
you
to.
on it?
What else do you do? Like running stores?
Yeah, I know.
Geez.
I'll do a lot. Sitting on my hands.
You're just sitting, idle hands, I tell you what. Let's see. Seraphonite Sisters is what Katrina says.
Got to get a Seraphonite. Do you have a Seraphonite ring?
I don't think so.
Well, we're going to change that for Brooke.
Seraphonite. That's not what
No, that's not money.
That's ceremony. Yeah, but I won't lie. They sound cool.
Seraphonite is connected to the Seraphim realm, so the Seraphim angels.
Oh, that's like the angels.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why
you
I'm
know those.
loaded, and I got bracelets, I got a ring.
Oh, that's right. That's what the one is with the feathers.
Yeah, same as that ring, but you can get a ring, and then me and you, Katrina, will have Seraphonite sisters.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Okay. Exactly what Katrina was thinking. All right, so we have just a few minutes left. Going forward, let us know if you guys are interested in this, but we thought about doing, so Jamaica is also attuned to do Reiki as well. So we were going to take for now on, we're going to take like the last 5 minutes or so and actually send Reiki to you guys, so you guys get a little free healing session.
Blessing.
A collective blessing, and it'd be from both of us.
The ladies of light.
That's right.
We do a lot of light work.
Yes, exactly. So,
which is the hardest work, by the way. It's not light at all. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's a heavy load. Yeah.
Amen, sister. Light sister. But yeah, so next week we'll probably be doing a little bit of that for you guys, just so you know. Yeah. Lisa says sounds wonderful.
Okay. You got it, girlfriend.
And don't forget Ralph. Oh, my mom. What? Yes, Mom. So don't forget Ralph. Okay, Ralph is actually that's my mom's dad. So that's the Blackfoot Native American. I was talking about. It's my papa.
Okay.
And so he is actually my guide, and he's always right here. Now, what's funny is he wasn't always with me, obviously, right? Because he was living in this life. But what had happened was, this was even like years after he had passed. Mm-hmm. One day he would come visit me and whatnot, but one day he ended up staying. And now he actually wears like a headpiece. So I will see feathers in the corner of my eye, and it would like scare me.
What are you doing, Ralph?
I know, Ralph, watch out. And Ralph actually is an Indian name. It means wolf counselor, but
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if your name's Ralph, it's an Indian name.
So like the movie Wreck-It Ralph means Wreck-It. What'd you say, wolf counselor?
Wolf counselor.
Who knew? I did not know
right?
that.
Yeah. So anyway, so I asked him about, it was about Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. And I am getting confirmation. Yes. So there is something about the fact that they are like in the, almost like their history, they would talk about it, like in the tribes. Now he says that he did not, like, it was mentioned, but he's talking about like historically that it was a thing where people would really like talk about it and have it in their stories in the tribe meetings and whatnot. Sorry, he got me my third chakra here to talk like for communication, but he is saying that actually Bigfoot is a thing. Yeah, 100% for sure that they would actually talk about them.
Yeah. I think one of the Native American things in Bigfoot is that you can't whistle after dark because then that attracts the Bigfoot. So like Indians don't whistle after dark. Like that's the thing.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys have to look into that. But
I just heard yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's right here.
Give me a poke. But yeah, if you look into Native American culture and Bigfoot, you are going to find a lot. Now, while then people will be making up that for centuries, they're not.
They're not.
It's all real, guys.
No, it's for reals. It's for reals. And especially if it comes from my grandfather. I'm telling you right now, it's for reals.
I believe him.
Yes, I do too. And he's also where I get a lot of my, so I have a bunch of clairs, right? We've got a lot of like clairvoyance and that kind of thing, clairsentience and whatnot. It's different forms of psychic stuff. And that is where I get a lot of mine is actually from Ralph. That's where I get a lot of my, more of like the natural, being holistic, the animal spirits and whatnot. So I get it from him, and then I get my other clairs, my clairvoyance, and being able to see from my dad's mother, Ruth. So anyway, so they're always around.
So, wolf communicator?
Counselor.
Oh, counselor.
Wolf counselor.
Because then you were talking about communication. I was like,
communication counselor. But he counsels, yeah.
Wow.
No, it's still the same. Yeah, it's still
I
pretty
always
much the
want a
same
counselor communicating. I mean, yeah. So
thing. That sounds right. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it is 7 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. If you found it interesting or, liked it, you think anybody would want to watch it, go ahead and like it and share it. And then we will see you guys next Wednesday at 6 o'clock to talk about something. We'll see. All right, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
Have a good
you.
evening.
Bye.